Hello.
I'm Wayne Anthony.
And I'm Jude Savage.
And welcome to our channel,
Quest.
The Search for Truth.
And in tonight's episode, we're going to be discussing...
Tarot. But more importantly, what tarot is right for you.
Exactly. So we've been contacted, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
By Oderic. Apologies if we pronounced your name wrong. Oderic. And he has written a book, hasn't he? And it's entitled Tarot and the Cube of Space.
Yes.
And this book is accompanied by a tarot deck called the Eternal Being Tarot Deck, which is by Anne Stoker.
Yep.
So if you are interested, I'm going to put a few links as we're talking about the tarot deck and the book itself. He recommends that you buy both the tarot deck and the book so that you can kind of use both at the same time. Although
the book can be used with other tarot decks.
Exactly, it's not exclusively with that.
It can be transferred over.
Yeah.
Once you understand the basic principles of what's being said within the book, and it's all based on the Kabbalah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people run away when they hear that word because it's like, what does it mean? It seems very, very complicated. And it is.
Yeah.
But the more you get to know it and understand it, the more sense it will make. It's one of those, it started back with Aleister Crowley and his thought back, and he used a lot of the symbolism of the Kabbalah. And people will be like, well, what does it mean? It's like... How would I describe it? It's like if you want to know, some people just want to know the fundamental meaning of the cards. You pick the 6 of coins and it's a bright surprise to do with money, financial commitment. But some people want to know the more in-depth meaning of that, the history of that card and what that card means. And there's many different theories as to how the tarot came into being. And one of them is the Kabbalah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things he talks about in this book, isn't it? So he presents his theory as to the history of the tarot, and he includes the Kabbalah, and he also includes lots of different things, and he ties that in with the cube of space. Which is, by all means, go and look this up. It's something else that goes way back and back.
And it's based on the Kabbalistic tree of life.
Yes.
Which, there's a whole tree of life in the Judaic belief system, and it goes back thousands, millennia. Mystics have tried to use this system in many, many different ways. So if you want to know the history of tarot, and you want to know some of the history of tarot, and no one's saying that this is the exclusive reason. Personally, I don't come from that school of thought. I come from the school of thought of the great chain of being. That's how I was raised, which is a kind of medieval Renaissance version of what the tarot is, and how the tarot and the great chain of being, which is, and we've discussed this in previous podcasts, the great chain of being, that everything in the universe has an order, and the order is from God in the highest heaven down to an ant on its hill. But this is quite different. I read the book, and you've read the book as well. It's really, really quite fascinating when you look at the history and possible history of the tarot. It does make sense in many, many, many ways. And if that suits your...
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's be a lot of people out there that are really they really want to know the different theories of the history of the tarot. And if you're one of those people, that's exactly, this will be a great... starting point.
I want to know that when I put, let me give you for instance, if I pop bread into a toaster and 2 minutes later, bong, and toast pops out, and I'm like, oh great, I've got toast, now I need to put my butter on it. I don't need to know how the toaster works to get to that point. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And because I'm lazy like that, I just want to know that I've got toast. But some people want to know a little bit, well, how does that, did you get toast? What made it brown? What made it work? What gave it the time and everything? So if you want to know the intricacies, and that's what we're saying with this tarot, particularly, we can't really comment on the deck because we've not seen the deck, have we? But we've read the book.
And this is something that I think everybody, we've discussed this in our tarot for beginners, that when you get a tarot deck, whether you should buy it yourself or somebody gives you a pack or whatever you want to do, you've got to be prepared that deck might not be the one for you, and we've talked about this. So you might see one on the internet and think, oh, that looks fabulous, but when you get it, the energy is not right of it. It doesn't feel right, and it is all about energy.
And that's the main thing with tarot. tarot cards,
Yes.
isn't it? Whenever you're reading the tarot card, you're not reading just the card, you're reading the person that comes to you for a reading. You're reading their energy as it compares to the card. And there's a synergistic value there, really, in terms of they've picked this card and that's their energy. Does it even combine? Is that fitting in with what you're feeling about that person?
Yeah.
So, you know, when it comes to tarot cards, there's so many, there must be thousands now.
Tons and tons and tons, on every subject probably.
And if you believe in reincarnation, if you believe, you know, do you want there's a reincarnation pack, there's a medieval pack, which is what I use. I use the Scapini, which is not the medieval, but I use the Savoza, which is the medieval, and the Scapini's kind of follow on from that. And do you like goth? Do you like hippie? Do you like rainbows, unicorns? You know, do you like fairies? Do you like cats? Do you like? There's a tarot deck out there for you.
Yes.
And really, what we would advise you to do, well, I'm sure you're going to agree, and I say we, is go for a pack that you're drawn to. Yeah. Go and look at something like tarot.com and look at the packs and look at, because they show you more, and you look at the back of the cards, because the back of the card is so important as well. You know, do you
That's
like the
true,
back?
actually. Yeah.
I've seen packs and I think, it's a really, really nice pack, and I see the back and I'm like, no, I don't want
you would just know. I think you would just get the feel once you've got the pack in your hands and you start, you know.
But this always draws me back to, and it's controversial, and I get shouted down for this a lot, and I don't care. Do I care? Do I care?
No.
Does this face look like it cares? No, because do you know what? Why was that tarot pack brought into existence?
Yes.
What brought it into existence? What gave it birth? Was it need or want or artistry or beauty and colour?
A lot
or was
of it is
money? So if somebody sat down and went one day, well, you know, I can make a lot of money doing this kind of tarot deck, or prophecy deck or oracle deck. So I'm going to sit down because, you know what, my ego is so big, I just want to make money and I just want to be like this, because I can't be bothered to learn about the tarot at all, especially with those oracle decks.
Yes.
So I'm just going to create this deck.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this kind of really artwork and hope that it sells well. And some of them do. And people go, oh, I swear by this pack. And I'm like, really? But really? Okay. Because what brought you into existence? Because if money brought you into existence and ego, forget it. Because I don't think the original tarot decks were brought into existence in that way.
No.
Although some might want to argue that with Aleister Crowley, because he did have a bit of an ego, but Aleister Crowley at least knew his shtick when it came to you know, the mysticism of what he was doing. I mean, you know, I don't like his pack. I don't work with his pack. I've got a sister that works with his pack, swears by his pack, swears by the astrological values of his pack as well. You know, there's lots of his cards that will give you the astrology of the star sign of the person that you're reading for. Not for me. I don't like it. I don't get the right, and I never did get the right energy. I think I was like 12 or 13 when I first saw that pack, and I was like, nah, not for me. You know, but go for what suits you. So many people are given packs of cards as presents, and they're like, because people know that you're interested in tarot cards or in the esoteric fields, and they give you a pack of cards, and you look at these cards and they say nothing to you. And so many people, there must be hundreds of people I've spoken to in the past that go like, well, yeah, I've got a pack of cards. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I got them for my 20th birthday, 30th birthday. A friend gave them to me. Well, you know what, they don't resonate with me. Well, they won't. And there's that age-old thing about you've got to buy your own, you can't buy your own, should I say.
Yeah, they must be given to you.
They must be given to you all, wrapped in silk at midnight.
Sorry.
On the 3rd day of the 6th month of the... I go through like, because as a professional, so I go through like
You're going to go through loads,
at least a year. Different packs get worn and get sticky, etc. And if I was sitting here, my fat hole, waiting
for somebody to buy your pack.
To buy me a pack, I'd be waiting a long time. A very, very long time. It's not going to happen because people don't do that. So you know what? Go and find the one that suits you. Go and trawl the internet. Look what, you know, this card or that card, whether it's the Earth card or a
you
round
might end
card
up buying
or a square
several
card.
packs and till you find the right
you
one.
always do buy several packs.
Yeah, well, you do anyway, but you'll end up probably when
and
you first
find
starting
the
out.
one that is right for you, you'll just connect with it, and it will speak to you like a picture in art. People say to you know, there are the traditional meanings of the tarot cards, and it will take you ages to learn that. But if I was coming into it today, not 40 odd years later, I would look at a card and think, well, what is that card trying to say to me? Like, you know, have you been to the Tate Modern? You've been to the National Portrait? Go and look at a picture. Look at something and say, what is that saying to me?
Yes.
What do I feel? What's the energy coming from it? How does it make me feel? That's what you should be doing with the tarot card.
Yeah.
You know, this is as good as someone that's been studying it for 40 years, basically.
Yeah.
So the Unstoker pack, which we've not actually seen, but you know, I've seen pictures of the Unstoker, looks really, really great. It looks like it's been simplified, it's been modified, it's been like for the 21st century.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
And Derek has come along and he's done this Kabbalistic view of what that pack is, and I really, really like it. It's not to my belief system, but I totally appreciate where it's come from.
Yeah.
In terms of the history that he's put into it and the research, and it's great.
Yeah, as many years but I think both of them have really taken the time over
And
this.
he's been into this in the long term.
Yes, definitely.
He's been doing it for 40 odd years.
Yeah.
But have a look at it because it's really quite interesting.
Yeah.
If it sings to you, if it resonates to you, then it's for you.
Yeah, exactly.
If it doesn't, then it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I would have a look. But I have a look at lots of different tarot decks.
Yeah.
You know, what do you use, Jude?
I like Scapini the most,
we
but
love Scapini.
I've got several, but you know, I do really like Scapini.
Which is based on the medieval.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's obviously more recent. People don't realise that it's not fairly recent, but it's more recent than people think it is.
Yeah,
because it is based
he took it
on
from the Savoza.
Yes, and it's taken from that medieval period.
But they're both beautiful.
Yes, but that's our thing.
There's the golden
isn't it?
tarot.
You
The
know,
golden
there's
tarot
so
is
many
wonderful
out
as
there,
well.
yeah.
But some people don't get on with the tarot. You know, we're saying tarot cards. There are oracle cards as well. The journey pack is a wonderful pack.
Yes, yeah.
And you know, you can use that, and you can just go and have a look. Tarot of the cat people. There's probably tarot of the three-toed chicken people. I don't know. It's probably out there. Honestly, just go and have a look. And whatever your thing is, go and have a look. You know, you can't go wrong. You'll find it's about searching, but don't have people tell you, you know, it's got to be given to you. It's got to be a gift to you. It's unlucky. That's BS. It's not unlucky to buy a piece of paper with pictures on them that tell you things, and you need to learn to interpret what the pictures are saying.
Yeah.
So have a look. But in the meantime, do have a look at Derek's
his
book.
His book,
It's
The
really,
Tarot
really
and the
interesting.
Cube
If
of
you want to know that
Space.
deeper information, you know, go and have a look. Go and also have a look at the Great Chain of Being and what that is as well, because you know there is a comparison here that you can draw between the two. They're very different, but there are similarities.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll join us again next time.
Don't forget to click the link and subscribe. Bye for now.